Hello everyone, I am Santosh Kumar DK, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Canara Engineering College, Mangaluru. I am going to discuss data structures with C Laboratory course with subject code 18 CSL 38. In this course, we will be conducting 12 experiments and any study material regarding this course is available on my website. Along with that, you'll also get a study material on C language and varieties of other subjects which I handle. Also, you'll get the opportunity to use online compiler in my website. You can run the code on the go. Hi everyone. Let's discuss second experiment from data structures with C laboratory. The second experiment goes like this. The problem statement is design, develop and implement a program in C for the following operations on strings. What are the operations we have to do over here? Read a main string, a pattern string, and replace string. These are all the things we have to read from the keyboard. And the name of those also has given in the question. So the names are str, pat, and rep. Perform pattern matching, an operation. Find and replace all the occurrences. Replace is another operation of pattern in string with replace if pattern exists. Check whether the pattern exists or not. Report suitable messages in case of pattern does not exist in str. See what all the string operations we have to do, that is given in the second part of the question. The first part of the question purely goes with what we have to read from the keyboard. And next, the question tells that support the program with functions. We have to go with the function concept. The functions we have already discussed in prerequisites video. For each of the above operations, we have to use functions. Don't use built-in functions. It means using string.h. Built-in function means all the built-in function with respect to string operations in C language is available in string.h. This is strictly not allowed in this program. So what we have to do is we have to do all these operations manually with our functions. Let's see how to do this. Before starting coding for those functions, let's see the basics of string, because if we are thorough with these basics, we can easily write the functions for completing the task given by the problem statement. So first, what is string? String is a collection of characters. Collection of characters is called a string. It means we had seen in the prerequisite video that there is something called collection. Collection of characters means it is nothing but it's an array of characters. It is nothing but a array of characters. Next, one more property of string, that is each string should end with a null character. This is very important when we are writing a manual function like user defined function to perform the string operations, because if we are going to use inbuilt, there is no need to worry, because the inbuilt functions will take care of everything. But here we have to do it manually. We should know these limits. This is going to represent the end of the string. There are no separate data type for strings in C language. That is why we have to go with a collection of characters, which we call it as a character array. And then variable name which you take to represent this character collection, we call it as a string variable, because it's a collection of characters and the collection of characters are called string. That is why that respective variable which is a collection of character, we call it as a string. Let's see how this is going to be represented. Let's take a collection of characters. A name is a string variable which has 10 characters maximum, but in that I am going to store only 5 characters. The name is India. So where Even though I'm having so many more location till 10 over here, but when I'm going to give the string in double quote, one more thing you have to remember, the strings are represented in double quote and characters are represented in single quote. So when I'm going to represent India, the filling will take place like this. The zeroth position will be having a first character, first will be having a second character, second position will be having a third character. Like that, it will go on. And at the end, once the characters are over, it is going to be ended by null character. This is the one which is going to which is going to tell the end of the string. I may call it as EOS, end of the string. So this is very important. Even though there are many more locations, because I have taken name of 10, I am allocated with so many uh, locations, but still I'm using only first 5. So that's why the after that, after first 5 location, that means 0 to 4, the fifth location will be added by the compiler. When it is represented in a double quote, it's mandatory, it should be represented in a double quote if it is to be added automatically. If you are going to store character by character, then it's mandatory you have to end the string. We will see these things in our program. And how many bytes will be allocated over here in C language? Character means 1 byte. So how many characters I am having? So 1 into 10, there are 10 bytes will be allocated for name, but out of that we are using only first 6 bytes, remaining are empty. We'll see what all the operations problem statement demands. The problem statement demands, first we have to find the string length, because before proceeding with any operations on the string, it's better to know the string length, because how many times we have to do respective task, it should be well defined before itself. Next, what we have to do, we are going to find the pattern string in the given string, so it is a pattern matching. Next, we are comparing the string. So if the pattern matching is successful, then we are going to continue with the replacement and all. Otherwise, if it is failure, we are going to display a message, pattern string does not found in the main string. Next, we are going to compare the strings, check one by one the patterns one by one character and replace them. For that, we are going to use compare the strings and replacing. And replacing is going to do the main task what is asked in the question. So whatever the main string we are going to read, and in that we have to find the pattern, and that will be replaced with the replace string. These are all the declarations I did in main program. The str is a main string which is given in the question itself, we have to use this variable. Pat is a pattern string, rep is a replace string, t is a temporary string which I am using, and d is a destination string where I am storing the final answer. And next, what we are going to do here is, we are having 3 variables. L stands for length, so length of string str, length of string pat, length of string replace. So these are the 3 variables which are used to find store the total number of characters available in individual strings. This is for string str, this is for pattern string, this is for replace string. Next, I am using ij l1 for keeping track of the loops, and L1 is for dealing with the destination string index. K is to count how many occurrence. For example, if I give declaration inside the main, this is the main string, and I am asking you to find a. A is a pattern string, and you have to replace that with b. For example, how many replaces can happen over here? 1, 2, 3 replaces can happen. So this is going to give you the count of how many replaces we did in the main string. It is not actually asked in the question, just this is a one simple line will give the number of replacement, that's why I have added. Let's see in detail of these operations, how to achieve this. Let's take the example what we have taken India. So how to find the length of the string? So manually we are finding, we are not using the inbuilt function predefined function from the string.h. There we are having a function name strlen to do this task, but right now we have to do it manually. That is why what we are going to do is we are writing our own function called length. See, whenever I'm asking a function, which, see, here I have written a parameterized function. In the previous example, I have written a simple function where it is not taking any parameters. But now I want to show you the another way of writing the function. In this lab course, what we are doing is, along with implementing these data structures, we will learn more about the programming language, how to use all the programming language constructs inside the laboratory, so that we can get experience with all those constructs. So here what I did is I have used parameterized functions for all the operations, and the return type also previously I have made it void previous experiment, but right now I am going with the some return type. So when I am asking you to give me a string length, of course the length is in the number format. It's a complete number. You cannot say 2.5 or something. It should be a complete number. That is why we are going to use integer over here. And what I am giving to this function is a character array, which is nothing but a string. So let's see. I am using a temporary variable over here I to go through the loop, and the length is to just to keep track of the number of characters. Let's see how it works. Initially I is 0, so this is where I is pointing. Yeah, I is 0, and I am checking str of I. It means this is my str, whatever I have passed. This array is called as str. Str of I is 0. That is 0 is having a value I. Whether I is not equal to null character, this is called as a null character, which is nothing but the end of the string. Yes, it is true. It is not equal to end of string. It is I and it is null. No, they are not equal. Then it will allow us to get inside. What I am doing inside? Initially length is 0. Now it is increased to, length is increased to 1. Next, there is anything to do? Nothing. I have to increment the value of I. I is pointing now to this. And now again come back and check the condition. Str of I, that is n. Whether it is not equal to null character, yes, it is true. Then go and update the value of len. It has become 2. Again increment the value of I. I is 2 now. Now str of I is d. Whether d is not equal to null character, yes, it is true. Then increment the value of len. Again increment the value of I and check for the condition. Whether str of I, that is I, is not equal to null character, yes, it is true. Then increment the value of len and increment the value of I also. Now I is pointing to what? A. Then check str of I, that is A, is not equal to null character, still it is true. So I'll increment the value of len to 5. Next, I is incremented to 5. And now I am having null character. Str of I is null character. Whether null character is not equal to null character, condition fails. What I am having in len, that I am going to return. Len is having 5. Let's check. INDIA. There are 5 characters. Yes, I got a correct length. I am going to return it back to the calling function. This is how we are going to find the length of the given string using a user defined function, where you have to concentrate on the null character and loop through 0 to till null character and keep counting. You will get a length of the string. Next, we'll see how to match the pattern. So if I take a pattern, this is the text I call, and this is the pattern. And here I told ls and lp are having the pattern length and string length. Ls, I'll write how many characters are there in ls. There are 9 characters. Directly you can check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. And lp is having 4 characters, right? Yeah. Let's see. Now we are having some temporary variable to keep track with the loop, that is CDE. So initially C is 0 and we are having C is 0. We are having LS minus LP. What is LS minus LP? 9 minus 4. It is 5. This is fixed value. This 5 is fixed value. And this condition is true. 0 is smaller than. I'll write the C value here and D value here and E value. Yeah, these are all the 3 variables I need. So C is 0 now. 0 is smaller than 5, true. Then E is assigned with a C value. C is 0, E is also 0. And check where with a, this is the loop. Inside that I am having one more for loop. You can see this loop is started over here. D is 0. And inside that again I am going to have a condition. D is smaller than LP. LP is what? 4. Length of the pattern string. And after that, if pattern of D, pattern is this, pattern of D, that is 0, is equal to text of E. Text of E is this, E is 0. So whether these two are equal, if it is equal, what you have to do is increase the value of E. Otherwise, what you have to do is you have to break this inner loop. This particular loop we are going to break. So now they are not equal, so I am going to break this loop. So now what happens? That D loop is broken. Next, if D is equal to LP, whether D value and the length of the pattern string is equal, D is 0, D I did not update, LP is 4, are they equal? No, they are not equal. Then this will also not continue. Then what happens? Still I am under the one more for loop. Now C value is increased, C is updated, and now check whether 1 is smaller than or equal to 5. Yes, it is true. Now make this as 1. E and C are same. Again start D with 0. D is smaller than LP and check this condition also true. If pattern of D is what? L is matches with the A. If it is true, it will update the value of E. Otherwise, it is not going to update. So now it is not matching. Again, this loop is going to break. Again, check whether D value is equal to 4. No, it is not is equal to 4. Then what I am going to do? Again, I am going to increase the value of C. Next, we will see similarly, E is updated with C value, that is 2, and the condition still true. Next, what I will do is D is initialized with a 0 as like before, and condition is true. Pattern of D is again M. Pattern of E, that is R. Whether M and R are equal, sorry, pattern of D is P. Pattern of one sec. Pattern of D is L, and text of E is 2, that is N. Are these are equal? No, they are not. L and N are not equal. Again, it's going to break the loop. What it is going to do? It's going to check whether D is equal to LP. 0 is equal to 4. It's also not true. Now increase the value of C to 3. And again update the value of E to 3. Now again start with a D with a 0. Pattern of D, that is L, is equal to G, that is third position. No, they are not equal. Again break this loop, update the C value to 4, and next compare. Similarly, this is also increased. So now L with A, it is going to compare. No, they are also not matching. Then increase this to 5. This is increased to 5, and 5 is smaller than or equal to 5. Still it is true. So this is increased to 5. Next, what happens? Again, similarly, D starts with a 0. L is matched with L. L is matched with L. Yes, they are equal. Now what I have to do? Increase the value of E. E will become plus plus. It means what? It's going to be increased. E is pointing to this. And meanwhile, there is nothing to do. So if condition will come back, D is increased to 1. Now D is pointing to this and E is pointing to text of O. Whether check pattern of O, sorry, pattern of D, that is O, and text of E, that is also O, whether they are equal. Yes, they are equal. Then what you have to do, increase the value of E, point over here, and we are going to increase the value of D by pointing here with the for loop. Still this condition true. So what I do is, again I am going to compare R and R. Are they equal? Yes, they are equal. Again increase the value of E and increase the value of D. And now what I have to do, again compare in a similar way. Still condition is true because it is 4. I'm still at 3. Next what I will do, same comparison will be done. E will be increased to the next, it's pointing to the null character. D is also pointing to the null character. Now see, D is 4 and D is 4 is smaller than 4 fails. So this condition fails. Now you check what is D, it is 4. What is the length of the pattern string? Yes, it is 4. 4 is equal to 4 is true. Then return 1. It means successfully I found the pattern LORE in a Mangalore. Right? So now what I am doing in this is I am finding LORE from the Mangalore and I am replacing LORE with the LURU, Mangaluru. I am making it as Mangaluru. So for this I am going to do this task. Now I think pattern matching is clear for you. Now I found the pattern and it's going to tell 1. 1 means what? I found the pattern. 0 means what? I did not found the pattern. Next, string comparison. How to perform the string comparison? Let's take a part of the string from the main string, which I call it as a str1, and another string I will call it as a str2. What I am going to do is whether these two strings are same. Why we have to do? When I am replacing, I'll explain you why we have to do this. Because if you are having multiple occurrences, if even though I say the pattern is found, so what I have to do is once after finding the pattern, I have to go with that and I have to start replacing. For that, what I do here is I will compare the strings. Initially, like as before, I use I for looping. See here I have used a while loop. str1 of I, that is M. str2 of I, that is L. If these two are equal, here I have used the logical AND operation. Both should be true to continue. Otherwise, it will not continue. This itself is false, then it will not continue. Right? M and L are not equal. This itself is false. You need not to worry about the second condition. Forget the second condition. The result is false. Then this while loop will not continue. Check what happens next. If str of I is greater than str2 of I, it means M is greater than L. How it's going to compare? It's going to compare based on the ASCII values. Hope you have heard about ASCII values. So it is going to compare based on the ASCII values. Whether M is greater than L. No, M is not greater than L. Based on the ASCII values, M is smaller than L. So it's going to return -1. If it is going to return 0, then only I am going to tell these two strings are same. But right now these two strings are not same. That is why it's going to return -1. This is going to be returned. I am not going to check the rest of the part by first character only because both are of same size. In first character only I got it is not same. Then I am not going to proceed. Then how we are going to perform the string replacement? So first we found the string length, then we have found the pattern, then we found the comparison. Now we are performing the string replacement operation. In this, what we are going to do is for the respective pattern, for example, over here LORE, I'm going to replace LURU. And this code is going to replace multiple occurrences. For example, in this, if you want to replace multiple A's with your name, yes, it's going to replace that. This code that I will show you in the demonstration. Yeah, let's start. I told what is LS. LS is for I'll write ls is length of the main string. This is main string str 9. lp is length of the pattern string 4, and lr is length of the replacement string, that is also 4. Now check, I is equal to 0, I is smaller than 9. Yes, it is true. And inside, it is allowed us to get inside the loop. Then j is 0, it is smaller than 4. Yes, it is also true. Now what I am doing is, this complete 3 lines is written to take first 4 character. It means of pattern size. First 4 characters from this, and compare this whether they are same. If they are same, what I am going to do is I am going to replace. If they are not same, I am going to shift. So now what I did over here is I just took out all the first few characters, first 4 characters, and I stored in a t. T is here temporary. So in that I stored, and I am storing character by character. I said, if you are dealing character by character, it's your responsibility to end the string. I'm going to end the string by giving a /0. After that, I'm comparing T and pattern, whether MANG and the pattern LORE are same, which I did in the previous discussion. See, MANG, LORE are the same. They are not same. If it is going to compare, if they are same, then it's going to return 0. If it is written 0, then only I will think of replacing. Otherwise, I will move towards the next bunch of characters. Now, this is not going to match, so I need not to think of replacing. So this complete loop will not work. This complete if conditional part is not going to work. It directly, what it will do is, it's going to take DL. It means this is the D destination where it's going to store str of I. What is I'll write I value over here, j value, and L1 value. L1 I told you initially, I set that to 0. Yeah, I is 0, j is also 0. Now I, that is str of I, m is stored over here and the destination. Now I got first character. Again increase the value of I. I is pointing to now 1. Now my second target is going with these bunch of characters. These second bunch of characters ANGA, and compare with pattern. Pattern is going to compare whether they are same. ANGA LORE, no, they are not same. So this is not going to takes place. So next what I do, next str of I, that is this, and it is automatically incremented in the previous case. So A will come over here, and D is now, it was 1, it is now incremented, it is 2, and I is increased to 2. Then again what I do, I again take the next bunch of characters, that is ANGAL. These are the next bunch of characters. On the third iteration, I will take these and I'll compare with this pattern from this statement. Whether they are equal, NGAL, LORE, no, they are not equal, then this part will not execute. And again, here I'm going to store N from the source to destination directly. Next again, this is increased to 3, I is increased to 3. Next what I will do, I will take the next part, that is GALO. This part I will take and I'll compare with this. Whether they are matching, no, they are not matching. As we did before, we are going to take G over here and we'll increase this to 4, and I is also increased to 4. Now again, still the condition will check, but I know the value 9, so it's not going to be the false. It will be always true till I reach 9. So that's why I'm continuing. Now again, till what I have compared, GALO I have compared. Let's take the remaining part is ALOR. I will take ALOR and I'll compare with LORE. Again it is failing. That's why what I will do is I will take A over here and I'll increase D L1 to 5 and I to 5. Now again I will go, I will find the next chunk. The next chunk is LORE. The next chunk is LORE. Now both are going to match, right? So now this is going to tell, this part is going to tell, yes, it is matched. Now what I have to do? Now how many first match I got, right? That's why I'm going to replace one time. So I counted it. One time I'm going to, this is to count. I counted one time I'm going to replace. Let's go with the L is equal to 0, L is smaller than or equal to LR. I'm going with the replacement string length, that is 4 again, and L increment T of L1 plus plus on the destination. What I am doing, all the replacement string, this is the replacement string. This loop is going to get all this on this part, L U R U. This is stored. Then what I will do after this, I will directly add I is equal to I plus length of pattern minus 1. What is length of pattern? That is 3, sorry, 4 minus 1 is 3. I was 5. 5 plus 3, it is 8. 8 again, I is incremented. Now it has become, directly I updated to 8. After increment, it has become 9. And now check, 9 is smaller than 9. Condition is false. So it will not allow me to get inside this. Outside that I have to end the destination string. Why? Because you are dealing character by character, it's your responsibility to end the string. Now you can check out, I have updated the string successfully. I have replaced LORE with LURE. Now it has become Mangaluru, before it was Mangalore, right? This is how replacement is going to takes place. These concepts I have referred from the referred books given by the syllabus. And let's see the demonstration using code blocks. Yeah. Now we will see the demonstration. Here I'm already ready with the program. So the program I'll just show you, like I have 3 functions. Replacement I did in main function only. Length is to find the length of the string. Match is to match the pattern. Compare is to compare the string. And replacement logic is written over here. What logic I have explained over there, the same logic is written over here. And as I said, ls, lp, lr used for keeping the length of the string, pattern, and replacement. Next, here finally I'm going to display the answer, that is number of occurrences and original string, pattern string, replace string, and the destination string. And this is our length function which I have explained there. The same function is there here. And this is our compare function which we have already discussed. This is our match function which also we have discussed. Let's run the program. I'll take in the first shot, first output, same input, that is Mangaluru, sorry, Mangalore, and I'm looking for LORE. I'm want to replace LURU. See, I have done. My original string was Mangalore. I wanted to change LORE, which is present here, with the LURU, and the final resultant string is Mangaluru. I said this is going to find the multiple occurrences. Let's see the multiple occurrences. Yeah, I'll take up a name. You can give a string with space also. I'll just show you, because I've used to read the strings, I've used getS rather than scanf. If you have used scanf, then you cannot give a string with a space, but intentionally I've used getS to support spaces. But make sure you should not exceed this limit. This is the limit you should keep in mind while entering the names. Otherwise, if it is going to increase, it will become an exception. Let's take up example. Okay, I'll take hello, welcome. Here what I will do is I will find for LL. LL, how many occurrences are there? There are two occurrences. I will replace that simply with some city name, or I'll replace with Canara, our college name. Yes, you can check out how many replaces I said. Two. Yes, it is done successfully. See, this is the original string. Hello, welcome to Canara Engineering College. LL is the pattern I am searching for, and Canara is the replacement. So you can see LL place is changed with the Canara. And this is the original string. See, this is also updated. How many occurrences we have changed? Two occurrences. Let's check for the pattern does not found. Let's take a simple one. Canara Engineering. I'm searching for Canada replaced with Canara. Just I'm doing intentionally. I didn't know it's not going to find the pattern not found. So this is how you can check this program. And in the last program, I forgot to show you if there is any error in your program, how you have to find and diagnose, how you are going to do, find and debug. So I'll intentionally make some error. So I'll try to run. You can notice it's going to show the error in this logs. So it's going to tell on the line number 35, it's expecting semicolon. It just like GCC, it's going to give you the clear description of the error. If it is a syntactical error, semantical error, it's not going to give. Syntactical error, it's going to give clear description. What you have to do is go to the line number 35. Before that, I forgot to terminate. And after that, you can notice, see, once you update, it is not saved. So you have to save. Now it is saved. Again, you can run. Program is going to run successfully. Thank you.